Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kita mulakan kelas kita pada pagi ini dengan membaca Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Arrahmanirrahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Shiratal mustaqim. Shiratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammadin asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, ampunkanlah dosa-dosa kami, ampunkanlah dosa kedua ibu bapa kami dan kasihlah mereka sebagaimana mereka mengampuni. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, kurniakanlah kepada kami ilmu yang bermanfaat untuk diri kami, keluarga kami, agama kami, bangsa kami dan negara kami. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, berilah kepada kami kejayaan di dunia dan di akhirat. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, jadikanlah kami orang-orang yang bersyukur. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah, bersyukur pada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala pada pagi ini kita dapat meneruskan kelas kita untuk minggu yang ketiga, dan ini merupakan kelas yang kelima lah untuk semester ni. Okay, jadi seperti mana biasa, kita akan buat adalah kita ambil attendance ya. Okey. Okey, hari ini adalah 31 hari bulan 3. Kita bermula dengan Aimi Zulfa.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Arina Balkis.
Saya doktor.
Ayu Maisara.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Marsha.
Saya.
Okay. Muhammad Haikal.
Saya.
Muhammad Aiman.
Saya.
Muhammad Akil. Muhammad Aziz.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Najwa Najiha.
Saya.
Okay. Nazatul Farah.
Saya.
Okay. Nur Anissa Balkis.
Saya.
Okay. Nur Amani Husna.
Ada doktor.
Nur Amni Nabila.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Nur Damia Aufa.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Nur Hazika.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Nur Syahira. Nur Syaza Syazrin.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Nur Syifa Syafia.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Nur Ain Afika.
Saya doktor.
Nur Aisyah Balkis.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Nur Farhana Azra.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Nurul Fatihah.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Hakib Imran.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Siti Khadijah.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Asfa Irdina.
Saya.
Okay. Nur Aifa Nabila.
Saya.
Okay. Nurul Atira.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Nurul Izzati.
Saya.
Okay. Nurul Natasha.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Siti Nur Syahira.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Muhammad Fikri.
Saya.
Okay. Fikriah.
Saya doktor.
Okay. Umat Hakim. Tak ada Umat. Okay, so hari ni kita nak buat apa? Hari ni kita nak tengok tajuk yang ketiga sebenarnya. Kita tengok tajuk yang ketiga, tetapi tajuk ketiga ni sebenarnya kita dah belajar sikit pada kelas yang minggu lepas ya. Jadi kita dah belajar sikit pada kelas yang minggu lepas. So kita masuk kepada tutorial ya. Tutorial 1.1. So, kita tengok soalan ni. Okey, berserta dengan jawapan dia. Ni jawapan dia. Buka soalan dulu. Okey, boleh nampak soalan ni?
Boleh.
Boleh. Okay, alhamdulillah ya. Okay, this is actually the third topic that we learn for this semester. Okay, so topik ni kita ada dua company lah ya. Dua company. So masih lagi simple ya. Dua company kita ada Alam Suria dan juga Puncak Alam ya. Below are the summarized statement of financial position for two companies as at 31st March 2012 for Alam Suria and Puncak Alam Berhad. Okay, so we start with the first item, property plant equipment. You can see from here, both companies have property plant equipment, and then they have also investment, inventory, receivable, and also cash and bank balance. Okay, and equity and liabilities, they have ordinary shares, retained profit, 10% loan notes, and also current liability. Okay, so you can see the term inventory here, 690. I put in red 690 because the 690 is actually an investment made by Alam Suria, and it also includes investment in Puncak Alam. Okay, so additional information number 1. On 1st April 2011, Alam Suria acquired 232 million out of 290 million. Okay, so from here we can calculate what is the percentage of investment. Can we calculate together? 232 out of 290. How many percent?
$8K.
80%, yeah. 232 divided by 290 is 80%. Okay, so now Alam Suria acquire 80% of ordinary share of Puncak Alam, and the balance 20% belong to the non-controlling interest. When is the date? 1st April 2011. When is the date of statement of financial position? The date is 31st March 2012. Okay, so it was happening 1 year ago, 1st April 2011, and now is 31st March 2012. Okay, shares in Puncak Alam for an immediate cash payment of 420 million. Okay, this is the consideration transferred, plus issued at par 10% loan note for 116 million. Yeah, Puncak Alam retained profit at the date of acquisition were 20 million. Okay, let's calculate the consideration transfer. How much is the consideration transfer? The consideration transfer is how much? 120 million plus 116 million. So it totals to 556 million. 536. Am I right?
Yes.
556. Okay, but here investment is 690. So it means the company is not only investing in Puncak Alam, but also in other investment. Okay, next, Alam Suria Berhad are the investment, and those of Puncak Alam are simple investment which are carried at fair value as at 31st March 2012. Yes, so 690 just now. The difference between 690 and 536 is investment in other companies. Alright. Number C, Alam Surya Berhad policy is to value non-controlled interest at their fair value. Okay, the directors of Alam Surya assess the fair value of the non-controlled interest in Puncak Alam at the date of acquisition to be 180 million. Okay, now we have been given the fair value of the non-controlled interest to be 180 million. Okay, on 1st April, on 1st April 2011, on the date of acquisition, the fair value of freehold land and Puncak Alam was 1 million more than its carrying value of 5 million. Okay. Go through the figure. The fair value of freehold land. Freehold land here is 560, right? Sorry, 560 is the total amount of property plant equipment. So inside the 560, there is a freehold land. There is a freehold land, and the value is 5 million. And on the date of acquisition, it was revalued to 6 million. So it means on the date of acquisition, we have 1 million asset revaluation. 1 million asset revaluation reserve. No adjustment have been made in the books of Puncak Alam regarding the fair value adjustment. This land still remains in Puncak Alam as at 31st December 2012, and on that date, the fair value of the land was 6.4 million. So another revaluation happened on 31st March 2012. So ada dua revaluation lah. Revaluation yang pertama adalah 1 million pada tarikh 1st April 2011, and second revaluation happened on 31st March. Happened on 31st March. So on 31st March, there is another 0.4 million revaluation. In the post-acquisition period, means from 1st April, from 1st April 2011 until 31st March 2012, Alam Surya sold goods to Puncak Alam. Alam Surya is the holding company, sold goods to Puncak Alam for 30 million. Alam Surya made a profit of 2 million of this sale. All the goods still remain in the inventory of Puncak Alam Berhad as at 31st March 2012. So, Alam Surya made a sale amounting to 30 million. Inside the 30 million, there is a profit of 2 million. And Puncak Alam has not sold any of the goods purchased from Alam Surya. It means the 2 million profit, 2 million profit made by Alam Surya is still unrealized and will be adjusted in the statement of profit or loss of Alam Surya. Okay. On 1st January 2012, Puncak Alam Berhad sold a plant. Puncak Alam is the subsidiary, sold a plant to Alam Surya at a profit of 1.2 million. And the remaining life of the plant on that date was 4 years. Okay. The group policy is to depreciate all plant using straight line method, providing a full year depreciation in the year of purchase and not in the year of closure. Okay. So we know that there is a difference in the carrying amount and the selling price of the plant, and the difference is 1.2 million, being a profit taken by Puncak Alam, when it sells the asset to Alam Surya. Okay, so what is the effect of this 1.2 million? The effect is, number one, we are going to deduct the profit of Puncak Alam by 1.2 million because this is an unrealized profit. Okay, at the same time, because this is a depreciable asset and the remaining useful life is 4 years. Okay, so we are going to calculate the over-provided depreciation here. Over-provided depreciation, and the amount is 1.2 million divided by 4 years. It equals to 300,000. Okay, next, trade receivable of 10 millions of Alam Surya are receivable from Puncak Alam. Okay, let's go through the trade receivable. It has 190 million. 190 million trade receivable. Out of this, 10 million is coming from Puncak Alam. Okay, we can see that Puncak Alam, it has 330 million current liability. So current liability, one of the component is trade payable. So we have to eliminate this intercompany balances, 10,000 in trade receivable and also 10,000 in current liabilities. And lastly, none of the companies have paid any dividend for many years. Required, prepare the consolidated statement of financial position of Alam Surya Berhad as at 31st March 2000. Yeah. Okay, so this is the question. Okay, so how are we going to answer this question? Okay, I stop sharing this one and I will share the solution. Okay, class, this is the solution. What we are going to do first? First, we are going to identify the percentage of holding. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, the percentage is 80% for the parent and 20% for the non-controlling interest. Okay, how do we get this 80% just now? This is 232 million divided by 290. Right? Yeah, 232 million divided by 290. Okay. What is next? So the first step that we are going to do is to calculate the goodwill or bargain purchase. Okay. As we have calculated earlier when we read the question just now, okay, we know that the consideration transferred comprised of cash 420 million and 10% loan note of 116 million. So altogether is 536 million. Okay, this is step 1. Yeah, S1. And then because the amount of non-controlling interest is based on fair value and it has already been given in the question, we just take this figure to be incorporated in the calculation of goodwill. Okay, so it becomes step number 2. Yeah, it becomes step number 2. So now 536 plus 180, it is 716. 716. And what is this 716? This is fair value of investment. Okay, this is fair value of investment. Fair value of investment 716. Okay, okay, and then we list down the fair value of net asset from the question. The fair value of net asset from the question comprised of number 1, ordinary share of subsidiary amounting to 290 million, and then retained profit on 1st April 2011 amounting to 240 million, and don't forget the additional information on asset revaluation reserve of 1 million. So altogether on 1st April 2011, the value of fair value of net asset, the net asset is 531 million. So we are comparing 706 million fair value of investment with fair value of net asset 531 million. So we get a goodwill of 185 million. This is step 4. Okay, are you following so far?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, what is next? After we have calculated the goodwill and we satisfy that the goodwill is 185,000, we are going to analyze the financial statement. Okay, we are going to analyze the financial statement. So now, when we analyze the financial statement, for this question, the analysis is on financial statement carried down, carried down. Why it is carried down? Because the acquisition happened 1 year ago. Acquisition happened 1 year ago. And for the subsidiary, it has no balance brought down, because balance brought down is coming from last year. If acquisition happened in the year 2010, for example, the subsidiary has balance brought down. But here, because acquisition happened on 1st April, 1st April. So 1st April, because acquisition happened during the year, there is no balance brought down of the financial statement of the subsidiary. Okay, so with that, we are going to analyze the financial statement carried down. Okay, so analysis of financial statement, as I mentioned in the previous class, we are going to have at least two columns. At least two columns. The first column is group retained earning, and the second column will be non-controlling interest. Okay, so if you are worried, if you forget about the percentage, you can put the percentage here, 30%, and then because we have another equity, that is ARR, we can also put one column for ARR. Okay, and then the third column is non-controlling interest. Actually, the minimum number of columns is 2. That is the group retained earning and non-controlling interest. So, as what we have learned in the previous class, we are going to start with the non-controlling interest on the date of acquisition. So, on the date of acquisition, the non-controlling interest is 180 million. Alright, what is next? Next, we are going to analyze the retained profit of Puncak Alam, which is the subsidiary. Okay, as at 31st March 2012, the amount of profit is 520 million. 520 million. What is next? Okay, next we are going to deduct or minus the value of profit available on the date of acquisition. Okay, we can call this as pre-acquisition profit or profit available on the date of acquisition. 520 minus 240. Why we have to minus 240? Because 240 has been used to calculate the goodwill. It means it has been capitalized and cannot be distributed anymore. That's why you have to minus. So 520 minus 240. And then we also minus the unrealized profit on plant. Unrealized profit on plant, because the subsidiary sold plant to holding at a profit of 1.2 million. This 1.2 million cannot be recognized by the group, so it has to be deducted from the retained profit of subsidiary. And in relation to this unrealized profit, there is an over provision of depreciation of 1.2 divided by 4, it is 0.3 or 300,000. Okay, so how much is the balance of profit after we make all the adjustments? The balance of profit is 279.1 million. Okay, 279.1 million. And out of this, 80% will go to the group retained earning column, and 20% will go to the non-controlling interest column. So 223.3 million goes to GRE, and 55.82 goes to NCI column. Are you following so far?
Yes.
Okay, good. Retained earning of the holding company, Alam Surya, as at 31st March 2012, the profit is 260, and it has an unrealized profit of 2 million because it sold goods to Puncak Alam, and Puncak Alam did not sell all the goods. Not sell yet. So the unrealized profit is still there. 260 minus 2 equal to 258, and 258 goes straight to group retained earning column. Okay. Next, asset revaluation reserve of Puncak Alam on 31st March 2012, the value of asset revaluation reserve is 1.4 million. It is not stated in the statement of financial position in the question, but it is stated in additional information, whereby on 1st April 2011, there is a revaluation of 1 million, and on 31st March 2012, there is another revaluation of 0.4 million. So the balance at 31st March 2012, 1.4 million, and 1st April is 1 million. So the post-acquisition asset revaluation reserve is 0.4 million, and this amount can be distributed to the group as well as to the non-controlling interest. So the amount that will be given to the non-controlling interest is 0.08, and to the group ARR is 0.32. Okay, what is next? The third step will be preparation of statement of financial position. Okay, the preparation of statement of financial position. Okay, let's go through together one by one until you understand. Okay, so consolidated statement of financial position as at 31st March 2012, Alam Suria Berhad and its subsidiary. Okay, to start with the property, plant and equipment. So the property, plant and equipment, under the step 1, we are going to combine together the PPE of holding and the PPE of subsidiary, 1040 and 560. So when you answer the question later, in the test, in the quiz, in the final exam, okay, you are going to show this inside the statement, not a separate working, because it is easy for the examiner to see what you are putting in your calculation. Okay, so 1040 plus 560. Ini adalah step 1. Step 1, that is to combine the asset of the holding and the subsidiary. And then we have to add 1. What is 1? 1 is revaluation, revaluation of one of the property just now. And then another ARR 0.4. And then we have to minus 1.2. 1.2 is actually related to unrealized profit on disposal of non-current asset by the subsidiary. And lastly, we are going to add back the provided depreciation of 0.3 or 300,000. So for the first time, we put here the additional information number. This is B, this one is D, this one is F, this one is F. So after we made all the adjustment, okay, the total amount of PPE is 1600.5, 1.6 million. 1,600,000. Sorry, 1,600.5 million. Okay. And then goodwill, we have calculated the goodwill just now in working number 1. The value is 185. Okay, and then what about investment? We still have investment other than investment in Puncak Alam. So investment in Puncak Alam is 690. Okay. No, actually it's 536. Investment in Puncak Alam is 536. Okay. And the difference between 536 and 690 is investment in other company. And this 80,000 is actually, 80 million is actually investment made by Puncak Alam in other company. Okay. Any question about this? 690 minus 536 plus 80. Any question? No. Inventories. Okay, inventories. Inventories, we have inventory of the holding 284 and inventory of the subsidiary 320, and we minus the unrealized profit 2 million. 2 million unrealized profit on inventory. What about trade receivable? Trade receivable is trade receivable of the holding company 190 plus 176 subsidiary minus 10 million. This is the amount of intercompany balance. Intercompany balance. because this is receivable from Punca Alam. And lastly, cash and bank balance, we add together the holding and subsidiary bank balance, 16 plus 44 equal to 60. Lastly, we find the total asset. Total asset of the group is 3037.5 million. Next, equity and liability. Equity and liability, ordinary share of 1 ringgit each is actually ordinary share of holding plus ordinary share of subsidiary minus ordinary share of subsidiary. So actually it works this way, 1200 plus 290 minus 290. 1200 plus 290 minus 290 equals to 1200 million. The net profit as has been calculated in the analysis of financial statement. You can see beside the statement of financial position, we can see the total retained profit 481, 481.3 here in yellow color, and then ARR is 0.32. Then this one is 0.32. And the non-controlling interest is 235.9. 235.9. Actually, we don't have to calculate here the 0.4 and so on. We don't have to calculate because we have calculated here in the analysis of financial statement. And loan note, both companies have loan note, amounting to 360 and 40, and current liabilities 400 plus 330 minus 10. What is this 10? This 10 is intercompany balance. Intercompany balance. So I put here the three items. You don't have to recalculate. What we can do is we just take the figure. We just take the figure from the analysis of financial statement. So this is all for question number 1. This is all for question number 1. Okay, any question? Any question? Any clarification?
Doktor, untuk yang dividen,
Dividend. Dividend, according to the question, the company has not declared any dividend. None of the company have paid any dividend for many years. Jadi sebenarnya sebab soalan ni adalah soalan pertama yang kita buat. Of course, minggu lepas kita dah buat satu soalan. Tetapi ni soalan tutorial 1.1 ni adalah soalan yang paling senang lah. Jadi dia tak ada, memang dia tak bagi dividen. So dia pun tak sebut kita declare dividen. Kalau contohnya dia kata both Alam Suria and Puncak Alam declare ordinary dividend of 10%. Contohnya macam tu. But they have not recorded in their books. So kalau itu yang berlaku, kita kena buat adjustment untuk dividen. Jadi akan ada kat sini, akan ada dekat bahagian sini dekat bahagian analisis ni akan ada dividend earning of Puncak Alam, akan ada dividen paid ataupun dividen proposed. Kemudian dalam retained earning of Alam Suria akan ada dividen received from Puncak Alam. Macam tu. Dan juga dividen dia sendiri, dividen paid by Alam Suria. So, betul apa yang awak sebut tu sepatutnya adalah, tetapi dalam soalan dia tak sebutkan yang dia ada declare dividend. Okay. So, kalau dia declare dividend, yes, we have to adjust the dividend. And what is the effect? Ada effect kat sini. Dekat apa ni, current liability ni akan ada effect dia, iaitu dividend payable by subsidiary to non-controlling interest. Okay. Ada lagi soalan? Sementara soalan senang ni boleh tanya banyak. Tak ada ya? Okay, kalau tak ada, saya stop sharing. Okay, saya stop sharing dan saya share semula kertas soalan, ya, kertas soalan tadi. Dan di sini kita akan tengok soalan yang kedua. Jadi kita nak tengok sama ada awak boleh calculate goodwill ataupun tidak. Okay. Kita nak test, we want to test your understanding to calculate the goodwill. Dan of course lah ya, soalan yang kedua ni mestilah lebih susah daripada soalan yang pertama. Jadi soalan pertama saya kata tadi soalan paling senang sekali. Soalan kedua ni nombor 2 senang lah. Dia dah ada sedikit lagi ya. Okay. So question 2. So after we read the question together, I will ask you to calculate the goodwill. Okay. So just follow what we are doing now. Given below are the statement of financial position of Harry and Sophie Berhan as at 31st December 2011. Okay. What information they have? Okay, dia ada non-current asset, okay, comprised of property at carrying value, plant and machinery at carrying value, and also 3 investment in Sophie. It has investment in ordinary share, in debenture, in preference share, and it has given the number of ordinary share, of debenture and preference share acquired. Okay, so from here 1.62 million ataupun 1,620 million, okay, 1 million, mana nak sebut ni 1,620 million, 1,620 million ordinary share was acquired out of, kita tengok berapa banyak ordinary share yang ada pada subsidiary ni. Ada subsidiary ada 2.7 ataupun 2,700 million. Sekejap saya akan replace ya. Bila dia letak 1,000 kat sini, lepas tu letak 1,000, maknanya dia adalah okey, ni 1.62 ni sebenarnya total lah, betul 1.62 juta ya, dia acquire 1.62 million. Bukan 1,620 juta, bukan, 1.62 million ya, 1.62 million out of 2.7 million. Okay, please calculate the percentage. 1.62 out of 2.7 million,
60%.
60%. Ya. Okay, dia acquire ordinary share 60%, maknanya another 40% belong to the non-control interest. Okay, what about the debenture? It acquires 250 million out of 500 million. How many percent? 250 out of 500.
50%.
50%. And lastly, preference share 100 million. Okay, out of 400.
25%.
35%. Good. Okay, so kita dah tahulah. And this is the cost of the investment 1.86 million, 250,000, 100,000. These are the costs incurred by the investor. Who is the investor? Harry. To acquire the shares and debentures in Sophie Berhan. Jadi bila kita nak calculate goodwill nanti, kita panggil yang ni bukan cost of investment, kita panggil dia sebagai consideration transfer. Okay, consideration transfer. Dan biasa kita akan calculate consideration transfer untuk ordinary share. Okay, especially macam dalam ni, The value of debenture sama Berapa banyak dia acquire 250, harga 250, 100, harga 100. Okay, jadi tak ada goodwill kat situ. Next, current asset inventory 430 and 450, receivable, loan to Sophie. Loan to Sophie 20. Loan to Sophie 20. Tetapi loan from Harry 10. 10. Jadi amount dia dah berbeza. What is the reason for the difference? The reason is cash in transit. And then debenture interest receivable. Okay, debenture interest receivable is 30. Okay, it is coming from here 60. Jadi tadi dia acquire 50% of debenture. Kemudian subsidiary accrue the debenture interest of 60. 30 goes to the holding company. Next is bank. Okay, equity and liabilities, ordinary share of the holding is 7 million, subsidiary 2.7, preference share, subsidiary 400,000. Retained profit of subsidiary 570,000, general reserve 120. What else? Payable, payable. Next, additional information. Okay. On 1st January 2011, now 31st December 2011, 1 year ago, Harry acquired the shares and debentures of Sophie Berhad when the retained profit and general reserve of Sophie Berhad were 100,000 and 120,000 respectively. So, these are the reserve existing on the date of acquisition. It is also known as pre-acquisition reserve. It is useful to calculate the goodwill. Then, the Sophie Berhad property was revalued at the acquisition date of 120,000 in excess of its carrying net value, net book value. The remaining useful life of the property as at the date of acquisition was 40 years. Okay, apakah property dia? Property dia adalah one of the property daripada non-current asset. Property dia. Dia ada property 2.30, 2.43 million. Out of this, one of the property, property was revalued 120,000 in excess of its carrying value. Okay, the remaining useful life of the property as at the date of acquisition was 40 years. Okay, so what is the effect on the company's account? Okay, the value of the property goes up by 120,000. So what about the depreciation? The depreciation will also go up. Depreciation will also go up, but it has not been taken care by the subsidiary. Jadi dekat sini ada under provided depreciation. How much? 120,000 divided by 40 years. C, included in the inventory of Harry were goods bought from Sophie, valued at 60,000. The goods were invoiced at cost plus 20%. So, in the inventory of Harry is 430. Inside the 430, there is 60,000 goods from Sophie. And the goods were invoiced at cost plus 20%. So, apa ceritanya di sini? Ceritanya adalah unrealized profit. So, how to calculate the unrealized profit? The unrealized profit is 20 over 120 times 60,000. Next, Sophie Berhad remitted 10,000 to Harry as part of payment of the loan on 30th December 2011, but was received by Harry on 3rd January 2012. Jadi betul sangkaan kita tadi ada cash in transit sebanyak 10,000. Kemudian E, the goodwill on consolidation of Sophie was impaired by 50%. Goodwill yang kita akan calculate sekejap lagi. Kalau ada goodwill, impact by 50%. And lastly, the non-control interest is measured at fair value of net asset. Soalan 1, non-control interest was valued at fair value. Dalam soalan 2 ni, the non-control interest is measured at the fair value of net asset of subsidiary acquired. Right. So, what we are going to do, prepare consolidated statement of financial position of Harry and his subsidiary Sophie Berhad as at 31st December 2011. What we are going to do, number 1, to calculate goodwill. Number 2, analyze the financial statement. And number 3 is the statement of financial position. So, for question 2 ni, okay, saya nak minta awak buat calculation untuk goodwill. Okay. Please calculate the goodwill. Okay. Tapi jam sekarang menunjukkan 8.54, jadi nak calculate terus ataupun nak break dulu. Okay, bolehlah kot kita calculate dulu. Kita calculate dulu, lepas tu kita break. Lepas tu kita sambung dengan the rest of the answer. Jadi, saya tekalkan sharing soalan ni. So, saya bagi masa selama berapa minit 5 minit cukup ke? Okay, mungkin saya bagi 7 minit lah. 7 minit untuk calculate goodwill. Nanti kita bincang jawapan dan kita akan break. Okay, so saya serahkan pada awak sekarang ni untuk calculate goodwill kita. Okey, masa 7 minit telah berlalu dan kita cuba tengok Kita cuba tengok jawapan untuk goodwill saja Dah siap ke?
Dah.
Okey. Okay, so what we can say from question 2 and tutorial 1.1 here. Okay, so about the analysis of the question, okay, we know that Harry acquire 60% of ordinary share, 50% of debenture, and 25% of preference share of Sophie Berhad. And this is the respective non-controlling interest 40, 75, dan untuk 50 ni kita tak ada non-controlling interest. Kita ada 50% lagi, kita panggil other liabilities. Other liabilities, kita tak panggil non-controlling interest, tetapi other liabilities. Okay, so other liabilities kat sini. OL other liabilities. Okay. Next, we calculate our goodwill. Okay, semua dapat tak 18 ni? Goodwill 18 dapat. Okay, consideration transfer cash 1,860,000. Okay, itu step 1. Step 2, fair value of net asset. Share capital 2.7 million. Return earning 100,000. General reserve 120,000. And ARR 120,000. Total 3,040,000. From this 1,040,000, we calculate our non-controlling interest. Non-controlling interest is 40%. 40% ni berdasarkan kepada ordinary share 40% times 3040, it equals to 1216. 1216. So 1860 plus 1216, we get 3076. 3076, fair value of investment. We compare with fair value of net asset 3040. Okay, the result is a goodwill of 36,000. The goodwill of 36,000. And from the goodwill of 36,000, 50% has been impaired. Therefore, 50% times 36,000, it equals to 18,000. What is the balance? The balance is 18,000. Will be shown in the statement of financial condition. Okay, jadi sebagaimana saya jadikan tadi, kita break dulu 5 minit. Kemudian kita akan sambung the rest of the answer. Okay, class. kita masuk semula. Okay. The second step is analyzing the financial statement. Analyzing the financial statement. Okay. So financial statement kita analyze financial statement, carry down Analyze the financial statement, carry down. We are going to start with the value of NCI on the date of acquisition. So ada sedikit perbezaan di sini dengan soalan 1. Okay. In question 1, we have only one investment. In question 2, we have more than one investment. Okay. Dan investment yang dalam bentuk equity adalah investment in ordinary share as well as investment in preference share. So we have to put here, the first one is non-controlling interest untuk ordinary share 1216, and non-controlling interest for preference share. Preference share ini adalah 75%, kan? NCI 75% time 400,000. So the value is 300,000. Jadi kita ada dua NCI di sini. Satu 1216, satu lagi 300. Yeah. Next. Okay. We want to analyze the retained profit of Sophie as at 31st December 11. Okay. As at 31st December 11, from the question, the value of retained profit is 570,000. So we put here 570,000, and then we minus the pre-acquisition profit or profit on the date of acquisition, 100,000. And then we have to minus also unrealized profit on inventory, because Sophie sold goods to Harry. Sophie sold goods to Harry at a profit of how many percent just now? 20% on cost. 20% on cost, jadi 20 bagi 120 kali dengan 60,000. Okay, so 10,000. On top of that, okay, there is a revaluation of one of the asset. Revaluation of one of the asset just now. The value sebanyak 120,000. Revaluation dia meningkat sebanyak 120,000 dan useful life dia 40 tahun. Jadi 120,000 divide by 40, the answer is 3,000. 570 minus 100 minus 10 minus 3, the balance is only 457. 457. And this 457, 60% will go to the group retained earning, and 40% will go to the non-controlling interest. 274.2 to the group retained earning, and 182.8 to the non-controlling interest. Okay. For retained profit of Harry, retained profit of Harry as at 31st December 11, the value is 960, and then there is an impairment of goodwill amounting to 18,000. Next is general reserve of Sophie. General reserve of Sophie at the end of the year is 120. On the date of acquisition is also 120. So there is no balance. And lastly, general reserve of Harry, 270. Okay, 270 will be brought to the column group general reserve. So at the end of the year, the group retained earning is 1216.2. The group general reserve 270, and non-control interest is 1698.8. Okay, what is next? Okay, the last one for this particular question is to calculate, to prepare the statement of financial position. asset 31 December 2011, and we are going to start with asset. The first asset is property, plant and equipment. Property, plant and equipment. So what we are going to put under the property, plant and equipment, we are going to combine the figure of Harry and Sophie, 4950 and 2430. And don't forget that we have a revaluation 120, and we have under provided depreciation of 3. Altogether 7497. Next, for investment in ordinary share, investment in debenture, investment in preference share, they are all eliminated. All already eliminated. We eliminate 1860 minus 1860, investment in debenture minus 250, investment in preference share 100 minus 100. Next is goodwill balance. Goodwill balance is 18. Goodwill balance is 18. Followed by plant and machinery. There is no adjustment for plant and machinery. So the value maintained at 1.9 million. What about inventory? Inventory combined together, the holding and subsidiary, 430 and 450. But we have to minus what? Unrealized profit, unrealized profit of 10,000. The receivable, there is no adjustment. Just combine together. Loan to Sophie. Loan to Sophie, 20 is the balance. Minus loan from Harry, 10. Minus cash in transit, 10. So the balance is 0. Debenture interest receivable is an intercompany transaction. So we have to eliminate also 30 minus 30. And cash and bank balance, we have the cash and bank balance of the holding 50, the subsidiary 200, and the cash in transit 10. Okay, we can put the cash in transit under the cash and bank balance, or we can provide, or we can create another line, another item for cash in transit. Okay, so kita boleh buat, kita gabungkan dengan cash and bank balance, ataupun kita buat item lain untuk cash in transit. Total asset 11345. Equity and liabilities, ordinary share, ordinary share parent only, preference share, preference share, bila parent only tak adalah preference share kan, 400 minus 100 minus 300. Jadi sebenarnya ordinary share tadi 7,000. Okay, saya akan tuliskan 7,000 plus 2700 minus 2700. Okay, retain profit, general reserve and NCI. Semua sekali kita ambil terus daripada analysis of financial statement. Analysis of financial statement kita ambil terus Okay. Kemudian 10% debentures out of 500, 250 already purchased by the holding company. The balance is 250. On payable, no adjustment. Loan from Harry, yes, there is an adjustment, 10 minus 10. And lastly, debenture interest payable. You can see from here that debenture interest of the holding company is 120, of the subsidiary is 60, and the payment made by the subsidiary to holding company 30. Therefore, we have to minus 30. 120 plus 60 minus 30 is 150. Okay, we can see this 30, minus 30 ni yang kita ada dekat debenture interest receivable dekat atas ni. It is the same. Debit. Okay, kita debit debenture interest payable dan kita kredit debenture interest receivable. Okay, jadi inilah dia jawapan untuk soalan soalan nombor 2. Okay, kelas? Follow tak?
Yes.
Okay, tak ada apa-apa soalan ke di sini?
Doktor,
Ya.
boleh explain tak yang cash in transit tu?
Ada termute ke?
Sorry, laptop
Ya.
saya hang.
Ha?
Apa tadi?
Awak nak tanya soalan apa?
Yang cash in transit tu,
Okay.
dia boleh jadi consideration transfer kan?
Consideration transfer, cash in transit. Tak boleh.
Kiranya dia bukan loan note lah.
Apa maksud awak loan? Dia macam ni. Ini adalah loan, ini loan to loan from. Loan to loan from. Okay. Macam soalan yang pertama tadi kita ada loan note kan? Soalan pertama kita ada loan note. Okay, loan note tu adalah consideration. Consideration ni macam ni Jadi saya ulang balik apa yang kita belajar pada minggu yang pertama. Okay. Bila kita nak beli share, kita boleh bayar dengan aset. Kita boleh bayar dengan liability. Kita boleh bayar dengan equity. Jadi maknanya kalau katakan kita nak beli 1 million ordinary share of subsidiary, okay, kita nak bayar katakan 1.2 juta untuk 1 million ordinary share in subsidiary tadi, kita boleh bayar dengan cash 1.2 million, tak ada masalah. Yang kedua, kita boleh bayar dengan issue of share, our own share 1.2 million, tak ada masalah. Dan kita juga boleh bayar secara combination of asset and liabilities. Asset and liabilities. Jadi dalam kes soalan yang pertama tadi, kita bayar cash sebanyak 420. Dan kita juga bayar dengan menggunakan loan note. Loan note ni adalah liability liability yang kita beri kepada shareholder. Maknanya shareholder ni akan jadi pemegang pemegang loan note lah. Pemegang loan note. Berbeza dengan soalan 2 ni, loan to loan from ni, okay, ini adalah pinjaman yang biasa. Holding memberi pinjaman kepada subsidiary. Jadi kalau dalam kes ni, Harry beri pinjaman kepada Sophie. Sebanyak 20 ya. Loan to Sophie 20. Maknanya asalnya dia ada debit dalam Harry punya sebagai aset, loan to Sophie sebanyak 20. Manakala di dalam Sophie pula ada loan from Harry sebanyak 20. Itu asalnya. Tetapi kemudian Sophie telah membayar sebanyak 10,000 kepada Harry, tetapi duit tidak diterima lagi oleh Harry. Macam tu. Payment already made. Bila payment made by Sophie, maknanya dalam Sophie baki tinggal 10. Baki tinggal 10. Manakala duit belum diterima oleh Harry, baki dalam Harry ada 20. Jadi dah tak sama dah. Baki dalam Harry ada 20. Baki dalam Sophie ada 10. Jadi apakah yang menyebabkan perbezaan di antara 20 dengan 10? Ianya disebabkan oleh cash in transit, iaitu wang dalam perjalanan telah dibayar oleh Sophie tetapi belum diterima oleh Harry. Okey, clear tak?
Clear doktor. Thank you.
Okey, ada lagi soalan? So kalau tak ada soalan ni, masa ada lagi, jadi saya akan bagi lagi satu soalan untuk kita cuba calculate dulu ni. Okey. Ni soalan dia dah bertambah The number of company bertambah. Smart Bestari cerdik. Smart Bestari cerdik. Jadi kita cuba tengok soalan ni dan memanglah kita tak boleh nak habiskan dalam kelas hari ini, tetapi kita akan sambung dalam kelas tutorial kita. Okey. So, simple fellow subsidiary ini kita ada smart, kita ada bestari, kita ada cerdik. Tengok Smart Berhad is primarily engaged in business of food and beverage industry, especially concerning halal food. Bestari and cerdik are among their main competitors. Okay. Smart Berhad is looking for solutions to mitigate risks associated with the competition issue. The top management of Smart Berhad believes that the idea of business combination can eliminate competition and at the same time help to stimulate its growth, increase market share, or influence supply chains to reduce future competition. Thus, Smart Berhad decided to acquire Bestari and Cerdik. The following are the statements of financial position of Smart Berhad, Bestari Berhad, and Cerdik Berhad, and also Damai Berhad. Ada Damai pula ni. Sekejap ada ke Damai? Sekejap. Oh, tak ada Damai. Sampai Cerdik saja. Sampai Cerdik. Damai tak ada. Okay. So we are given three sets actually, three sets of statement of financial position. Kita ada non-current asset, ada investment in Bestari, ada investment in Serdit. Jadi Bestari dan Serdit adalah subsidiary kepada Smart. Okay. What 95 is the cost of investment ataupun consideration transfer untuk acquire shares in Bestari. 23 million is the amount to acquire the shares in Serdit Berhad. And then on top of that, they have inventories, the receivable, current account, and also cash and bank balance. Okay. Under the equity and liability side, we have ordinary share capital of the three companies, ada non-redeemable preference share, okay, ada return profit, 1st January, iaitu opening balance, ada return profit for the year, for the current year, ada trade payable, ada bill payable, ada current account. Okay, tadi kita tengok current account di atas, ada 45 ya. Current account Serdit, 45. Dan tu dekat bawah ni ada current account Smart, 40. Jadi ini sama case-nya dengan loan to loan from tadi. So current account 40 dan 45. Maknanya ada cash in transit. Dan last sekali adalah ordinary dividend payable by the three companies. What is next? Investment in Bestari on 1st January 2018. Sekarang ni 31 Disember 2019, 2 tahun yang lepas. And share exchange of 1 share in Smart Berhad for every 4 shares acquired from Bestari Berhad. 1 untuk 4. 1 untuk setiap 4. The share market price of Smart and Bestari on 1st January 2018 was RM3 and RM2 respectively. The remaining useful life of the building was 25 years. Okay, itu berkaitan dengan Bestari. Jadi selain daripada profit, okay, dia ada juga asset revaluation reserve. Investment in Serdit on 1st April 2019, the current year, Smart acquired 60% of ordinary share of Serdit for 23 million cash. The market price of Serdit ordinary share on that date was RM1.80 each. Okay, additional information. All bills payable of Bestari Berhad are due to Smart. Smart Berhad discounted 50% of this bill to third-party companies. Okay, kita tengok bill payable of Bestari. Ada berapa? 20. Dia 20,000. Dia kata all the 20,000 are coming from the Smart. But Smart discounted 50% of this bill to third party. Jadi 50% kali dengan 20 sama dengan 10. Jadi balance dia tinggal 10 lah. Maknanya 20 tolak 10. On 1st July 2019, Smart purchased a machine from Serdit for 5 million when the carrying value was 4 million. Ada profit sebanyak 1 million. The remaining life of the machine was 5 years. It is the group policy to provide full year depreciation in the year of purchase and not in the year of disposal. Next, 10% of the closing inventory of Bestari. Tengok Bestari punya closing inventory. Closing inventory dia ada 115. 2015. Kita kata apa? 10% of the closing inventory was supplied by Smart Berhad and have not been paid yet. Jadi 10% daripada 115 adalah 11.5 juta. 11.5 juta have not been paid yet. Smart Berhad sold the goods cost plus 25%. Bestari managed to sell half of the inventories to its customer at the market price. Okay. Kemudian Bestari pula daripada 11.5 tadi dia dapat jual pula separuh. Separuh daripada ni dapat dijual. Okay. So 50% kali dengan 11.5 kali 25 bagi dengan 125. Itu adalah dia punya unrealized profit. Jadi dalam nombor 3 ni ada beberapa item. Yang pertama ada intercompany balance sebanyak 11.5. Okay. Kemudian ada unrealized profit. Unrealized profit. Number 4, Smart Berhad has not recognized the shares of dividend from investee companies. Jadi dia belum cakap lagi. Ada ordinary dividend payable 10 dan 5, tetapi tidak ada ordinary dividend receivable dalam account Smart Berhad. Okay, so kita kena buat adjustment. Number 5, goodwill on acquisition of Bestari Berhad had been impaired and should be written down by 20% for the year ended 31st December 2019. Bila kita calculate goodwill of Bestari nanti, okay, kita akan ada apa dia? Impairment sebanyak 20%. Number 6. It is the group policy to measure the non-controlling interest using the fair value method. Okay. Dan last sekali, all profit are deemed to accrue evenly throughout the year. Okay, ini merujuk kepada company yang kedua, iaitu Cerbit. Cerbit was acquired on 1st April 2019. Jadi maknanya profit untuk tahun 2019 tu 3 bulan adalah pre-acquisition profit dan 9 bulan adalah post-acquisition profit. Required, compute goodwill or bargain purchase on acquisition of Bestari, on acquisition of Cerbit, prepare schedule showing the group retained profit and non-controlling interest, and lastly, prepare the consolidated statement of financial position of Smart Berhad Group as at 31 December 2019. Okay. Jadi untuk yang hari ini saya nak minta awak calculate satu saja goodwill. Kemudian yang bakinya tu sambung di rumah masing-masing lah. Kita nak calculate goodwill untuk Bestari. Boleh?
Boleh.
Okey, boleh. Sila calculate goodwill untuk Bestari. Bestari saja dulu. 5 minit. Okey, macam mana? Okeylah, saya akan tunjukkan calculation untuk yang itu untuk yang pertama untuk case study sahaja. Okey, sama tak jawapan? Kelas, sama tak jawapan? Mula-mula consideration transfer dia cash. Okay, cash sebanyak 20 million. Kemudian share tu 1/4 kan? 1/4 1/4 ni makna satu share kita untuk 4 share dia. Jadi 80% ni adalah kita punya percentage of acquisition. Okay, kali number of shares 125. Jadi dengan harga share kita RM3, so kita dapat 75 million. Okay, kemudian fair value of net asset of subsidiary. Okay, share capital 125, return earning on the date of acquisition 10, ARR building 5, semua sekali 140 lah. 140. Untuk kita dapatkan non-control interest tadi at fair value. Non-control interest at fair value maknanya 125 ni number of shares kali 20% kali RM2 harga saham subsidiary. Kita dapat 50. So 20 plus 75 plus 50 equal to 145. Sedangkan fair value net asset 140, dapatlah goodwill sebanyak 5. Dan kita dapat impairment 20%, bakinya adalah 4. Bakinya adalah 4. Okey. So ini saja untuk hari ini. InsyaAllah untuk kelas yang tutorial tu saya nak minta awak siapkan dululah. Tapi kita akan bincang soalan ini. Okey kelas? Boleh?
Boleh.
Boleh Okey. Ada apa-apa last question sebelum kita bersurai?
Doktor, nanti dekat si software tu dia ada 2 kolom lah, group.
Oh tidak, kita ada satu kolom saja. Kita ada satu kolom. Mana asset tu kita combine 3 company lah nanti.
Okey.
Okey, kalau tak ada lagi kita akhiri kelas kita. Saya pun ada kelas satu lagi sebentar lagi. Kita sudahi dengan surah Wanas. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal asri inna insana lafi khusr illa alladziina aamanu wa 'amilus shalihat wa tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw bis sabr. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ada yang saya tak panggil attender tadi? Yang dah panggil boleh bersurai lah.
Thank you, Doktor.
Okay, thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor.
Sama-sama.
Thank you, Doktor.
Okey.
Doktor,